blow for the Saints, because Gary Wheeler has been withdrawn and Christine has come into the centres wearing 19. Leon Price has been named at full-back. Then it's Eddie Gardner, Matt Gidley, Christine and Francis Melly. John Wilkin has been named at stand-off, and he's playing alongside the exciting Kyle Eastman. The forwards, James Graham, Kieran Cunningham, who is the captain, Tony Pulatua, Paul Clough, Chris Flannery and Scott Moore at loose forward. So a little bit of a jiggling about by coach Mick Potter. James Roby, Bryn Hargreaves, Andrew Dixon and Mari Farsavalu, though, are on the bench. The Wigan Warriors team, it's Amos Roberts at fullback, then it's Darryl Goulding, Martin Gleeson back on the old stomping ground, George Carmont and Pat Richards, the exciting Sam Tompkins as well, and Thomas Luluai. Up front, Stuart Fielden, Michael McAlorum. There is no Mark Riddell, he's injured. There's no Andy Coley, he's out injured as well. So Paul Prescott completes the front row. Phil Bailey, Joel Tompkins and Sean O'Loughlin captains the side today. And on the bench, it's Palliasina, Deacon, O'Carroll and Mossop. And the coach is Michael Maguire. So can Wigan leave Knowsley Road with a win for the first time in 9 visits? You know, Michael Maguire has achieved such a lot in a very short space of time, but successive Wigan coaches get the message. Beat Saints, forget the rest. Comparisons already being drawn regarding Maguire's appointment to that of John Money in 1989. Money won 4 League and Cup doubles in succession. Can Michael Maguire tread a similar path? Well, there's a massive following from Wigan come here to cheer the Wigan Warriors on. They're up against it though, because they have conceded home advantage this Good Friday to the Saints, who are in red hot form. Knowsley Road's been home to them since 1890. Their record attendance came here on Boxing Day 1949. Over 35,500 to see St Helens beat them 15-8. It's the first time that we've been to St Helens since that foggy night in February, when Hull, inspired by an old boy named Sean Long, beat them 32-12. Since then, they've lost just once at LKR in March. Kyle Eastman has inspired them, and they are now 2 points behind the Wigan Warriors. If there is any bigger match this weekend, well, point it out to me, would you? Because the bragging rights locally are at stake. More importantly, St Helens, they need to win this to get on level pegging with Wigan at the top of the table. And what a game for Ben Taylor to take charge of.
You can feel the tension as normal whenever this derby game is on. It is a big ask, the new coach at Wigan, Michael Maguire. This will be all new to him, but not to the players, and here we go.
So Ben Taylor blows the whistle, Eastman kicks the ball, we're up and running. And Luluai is underneath the kick-off, and there's the first collision of the match. And there's going to be about 400 more of those before we go home in 80 minutes' time. St Helens don't want to leave Knowsley Road, knowing that on their last league meeting, they were beaten by the Wigan Warriors. This is Stuart Fielden for the league leaders.
Well, everybody in this town would have been saying exactly the same thing all this week in the build-up. There's a lot of pressure on both sides, and it's so important that the pack of forwards get into each other, get the feel for this game, because it's going to be a lot of nerves out there. Even though they are full-time professionals, this is real pressure.
End of the first set of 6 for Wigan. Tompkins drills the kick along the ground. A great, great kick from Tompkins.
Super stuff. That's what you need from a youngster coming into a hotbed of rugby league. Tompkins, such a star last year. I must say that his brother in the second row, Joel Tompkins, certainly has made a name for himself this season. And this is where Wigan will be hunting the mistake.
The Saints beat Wigan 3 times last year, twice in Super League and in the grand final qualifier last October, but they ended without a trophy for the first time in 6 years. Wigan actually did beat St Helens at Murrayfield in the Magic weekend, and it was a very good win for them as well, but they have been second fiddle on this ground for the last 9 visits.
Interesting, when they were feeding the strum there, It wasn't Thomas Luluai putting it in, it was Sam Tompkins opposite Kyle Eastman.
You know, Wigan have been very dangerous this year, Eddie, on kick returns. When the opposition have kicked the ball deep, the two wings and the fullback have counter-attacked very effectively. It'll be fascinating throughout this game how and when St Helens choose to kick the ball when they're trapped in their own half towards the end of a set.
There's Mick Potter, the St Helens coach, knowing that Kieran Cunningham's playing his 5th and final year as he plays the ball. Wilkin was under pressure there from Joel Tompkins. The kick wasn't the best. Here goes Amos Roberts.
Nothing wrong with the challenge though. And Joel Tompkins just tapped the head of John Wilkin. He committed himself, put it down. Listen to this crowd. It's unbelievable when you come here.
Great defence from St Helens.
So important to put the marker down. There is Michael Maguire. As I mentioned, all new to him, but he will have the tactics. He will have said to his side, listen, we reside at the top. We are the leaders of Super League. Let's keep it that way.
McAloran to Fielden. Oh, he bounced off the shoulder of Kieran Cunningham then. Fielden will have felt that.
That hurt him. That really hurt Fielden. He doesn't know where he is.
Thomas Luluai's kick and Leon Price underneath it and operating at full-back.
And that's a wise move as far as I'm concerned about the coach Mick Potter. Leon Price loves to have plenty of space to move around and he will be extremely dangerous. But Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, he has a problem because to me Stuart Fielden is really not up to it at the moment. That's a knock-on.
Francis Melly was the hero in Huddersfield last week. Comes up with a knock-on here that will gift St Helens possession, or was it stripped there by Fielden?
Well, he certainly had a hand in there.
There were plenty of incidents like that, Steve-O, in the Hull KR Hull derby that we've already seen this morning. The hand and the ball being reached out by the defenders in the tackle.
And it's very difficult for any referee. It's going to be the same today for Ben Thaler. And this is where the touch judges, they really have to help.
So, Tompkins finds George Carmont. And St Helens in brilliant white and Wigan in all black. Oh, what a hit that was on Paul Prescott. What a hit. Luluai to Roberts. Roberts flicks the ball back under pressure from Dean. Here is Martin Gleeson.
He's lost it. Oh, he's given it stolen.
Well, he hasn't got an earpiece on to us, Ben Thaler, but that's exactly what we were talking about.
Well, is it dragged away? Oh, it's hard to say. I must say, the big fella James Graham had a hand in there, so had John Wilkin. And watch the hit here. Oh, boom. Boy, Kieran Cunningham, he put a hit on Fielden before. Now he's like the Lone Ranger out there. Dangerous, silver bullets and everything.
Well, the scars of battle already being seen. Kieran Cunningham, they've built a statue in honour of this fella. 505th career appearance here today. And what will St Helens do without him in 2011 and beyond? I know they've got the likes of Scott Moore and they've got James Roby, but Kieran Cunningham has been pivotal to St Helens' success in the Super League era. Now then, Pat Richards with the opportunity to kick the first goals. We're looking here at the top try scorer, the top goal kicker, and the top point scorer in Super League this year. 10 tries, 39 goals, 118 points. This for the first points today. He kicks it. Wigan are ahead 2-0.
And good tactics indeed, Michael Maguire, no hesitation. Anywhere within 30, 40 metres, this guy will get the message down. Come on, Pat, we'll take the two on offer. He knows it's going to be a tight and very, very hard struggle throughout the full 80 minutes.
Paul Whelan's missing. He has played so many of these games in the past, the St Helens fullback. That's why Mick Potter has made the changes he has. Price at fullback, Moore is at loose forward, and he's got John Wilkin operating at standoff. It's not bad when you are a player like Paul Wellens. You know, you sit out the game like this and the coach makes his 3 changes to cover your absence. It's Wigan in possession. They are ahead 2-0. 5.5 minutes gone. McIllorum is there. There's no Riddell. Fielden. There is no Andy Coley either, in case you're just joining us. Andy Coley is out injured. Here is Sean O'Loughlin. Luluai scampers in at dummy half. His international position for New Zealand.
Good work by Scott Moore there, just reading the first and second marker principle, getting into it. Nice little rondo from the loose forward O'Loughlin. This will be the kick.
Luluai under pressure from Cunningham. Poor kick straight to Leon Price. Will run it back. Wigan, though, cope with the threat for the time being.
It looks as though it's up, but it isn't. The fullback Leon Price, as soon as he took that ball, he really got into top gear. But we mentioned before the game that the forwards and the defence will be on top very early. You really can't separate them at the moment. There's been some real crunch hits.
This is Tony Pullatua playing his third game in a row in the front row, and here's the man who always gets it. That was high from O'Loughlin.
That was vicious.
James Graham hasn't moved.
Oh, that was a bad one. And I think Stuart Fielden seemed to be coming in a bit late as well. That was a cracker. Well, he got the double due there, did this fella. James Graham is tough as teak, but boy, he was felled on that occasion. Not normally the style of Sean O'Loughlin, swinging an arm like that.
Passions are running high at Knowsley Road. And the referee has called time off while James Graham receives this treatment, and he has not yet spoken to Sean O'Loughlin. He's given the penalty, but he's not spoken. I think he's waiting to see what happens. Graham's on his feet.
Well, surely he's got to put that on report. It was a bad one, Eddie. It wasn't a delayed in action into the tackle, but he's not going to do it.
No, it's not on report. It's a simple high tackle in the view of Ben Thaler.
There's nothing so simple about a high tackle.
So a chance here for St Helens, and another penalty. Messing around, trying to delay. St Helens play the ball. Kieran Cunningham wanted to get on with it quickly then. He's pulled back by the referee, who hadn't blown the whistle and shown where the mark is.
Silly play by McIllorum. He knew perfectly well what he was doing, thought he might get away with it. He didn't.
Salford ahead at Warrington. This is Pullatua for the Saints. They're 10 metres away from the Wigan line. Second tackle. Here is Cunningham scheming. Gives it to Graham. Back it comes to Eastman. Brilliantly picked up out of the air by Eastman. One-handed.
Not the best pass there from the front forward, James Graham.
Cunningham still offside. Wigan on their own line.
They won't bother with the two. They'll go momentum. Quick tap. Cunningham knows that. Graham will go. Will he go on a solo? No! He's gone on his own as the hooker.
Cunningham is pulled back. Just short of the line. Now Leon Price is there. He fires the pass awkwardly to Kyle Eastman, and Joel Tompkins collars Kyle Eastman. There's Scott Moore in now, dummy half. Good run from Scott Moore. O'Loughlin and Fielden to the rescue for Wigan. Pressure on this Wigan line. Cunningham again. Dumps the ball down, and Wigan gobble it up.
He took the gamble. The experienced hooker, Kieran Cunningham, took a huge gamble, and Sam Tompkins was Johnny on the spot. Boy, did he go down for that loose ball quickly.
Here's Martin Gleeson back at St Helens. Remember, he came here Sam Tompkins. Gleeson came here many times with Warrington and went home a loser. He's hoping to go home a winner with Wigan here.
Fans thought there was a little knock on. It wasn't. He just pulled away from it in time. Oh, that's a offload. Play on. Well, it went in between two St Helens players. That was very dangerous there, Goulding trying to offload, but they got away with it.
And this is the turnover. On halfway.
Boy, it's all action. We noticed last night, not the best kick was it from Thomas Luluai, but we noticed last night, we took the opinion that Leeds were just panicking, weren't they? All the time. They were not settling things down, and neither side has settled down yet.
Wilkin gets it to Flannery. It was accidental offside, that's why we had the turnover on the halfway line. Here's Wilkin again. So dangerous in the past when he's played at standoff. Through the legs of Cunningham at the dummy half position. Here is Graham again, carrying it forward bravely despite the clattering he got from Sean O'Loughlin not long ago.
When will Saints spin it wide?
It's Cunningham who finds Eastman. Eastman then, short ball. And Paul Clough it is.
They normally do the short blind side. Will they do it again?
Down he goes on the fourth tackle. This is Pulatua. Wigan stand firm. That's the last for St Helens. 5 metres away from their own line, Wigan. Cunningham goes the short side. Good ball. Even better ball, but good defence. And Christine just could not get through. Wonderful tackle by Darryl Goulding, and Thomas Luluai was in there as well.
Goulding did ever so well. Put his body on the line. He had to as well. Looks as though Dean was just about to reach out. Now the big problem, can Wigan get anywhere near the halfway line for the kick and chase?
Gleeson, he's never won on this ground since he left St Helens. Is today the day? His team are ahead 2-0. 11 minutes gone. They've won the last 3, both of these two. Something's got to give today.
Tremendous defence by St Helens. You see they're moving out extremely quickly out wide. They're forcing Wigan right down the middle. Watch the two centres at Saints. Bang, they go straight into it.
Another kick from Tompkins, but Leon Price had positioned himself well and begins the counter-attack. Gets as far as the number 7. Oh, that ball's come away. Is it 6 to go? Yes, it is.
But they were very slow there to get someone into the dummy half position. Leon Price took it through, got up quickly to play the ball. There wasn't a St Helens player got there quick enough.
Francis Melly, in a great run of form. Melly, 7 tries in the last 6 for him. He plays the ball to Cunningham. Graham, short pass, ball has gone down to ground off Scott Moore.
Great hit by Martin Gleeson. Absolutely put the shoulder fair and square.
Well, it's pretty evident from where both of these sides are playing that in these conditions, in an atmosphere like this, they want to gain control of the middle part of the pitch. Very few passing players out wide, both just keeping it short, keeping it tight, and trying to blast a hole in the middle of the field. There was a time wears on and we go about 10 or 15 minutes from now. The gaps between the defenders will widen. Some players won't have the energy to push up and get across the holes, and then I think we'll start to see the likes of Price and Tompkins and Eastman, and maybe even Luluai start to penetrate through some gaps. But early on, it's about gaining control in this middle channel.
And it's a constant drizzle that the players are playing in at the moment. McAlorum finds Luluai. Luluai then pops the pass up. And Joel Tompkins gets to his feet. Plays the ball to McAlorum again. Here is Sam Tompkins. It's with Roberts. Here's Carmont. And Carmont gets it wide to Richards. And Richards trying to muscle his way over. He's just short of that line. Good cover defence from Kyle Eastman it was first off. Carmont, back it comes to Sam Tompkins. Pops it up to Phil Bailey. Going nowhere.
Kick to the right side. Surely it's on. Tompkins got it.
Under pressure he was from Graham. Got the kick in. Oh, knocked back by St Helens. But wasn't that a knock on by St Helens? Maybe not.
Well, it was hard to decide. And that's good work. Oh, surely that was knocked back by Mike Digley. Either way, they've got away with it. Boy, the tension and the noise here is unbelievable. Little wonder that nobody seems to have settled down there. The defences on both sides, so strong.
A lot of these players for St Helens now are ground workers, taking the ball down, trying to drain some energy, because they know that when Robbie and Fastavalou come onto the field, that's when they're expected to make the big impact in the middle. So players like Graham and that are doing a lot of the foundations, a lot of the footings that need to be placed for later for Saints.
Eastman under pressure from about 5 or 6 rushes. Gets the kick away. George Carmont is struggling, by the way, for Wigan. Struggling badly at the moment. As Richards takes the ball forward for the Warriors. Only as far as Cunningham. Scott Moore is there as well.
Well, a trainer that's run on for Wigan to attend to George Carmont. Nearly got knocked down in a melee there. That's how fast and furious it is, but there is a problem for Carmont. Big blow to Wigan if he cannot continue on. Screams it forward, you always get that here. 50-50, I feel.
Luluai. Back it comes to Tompkins. Here is Roberts. Wide again to Richards. Good tackle by Eddie Gardner. Carmont, the dummy half this time. Well, suddenly it's a miracle recovery for Carmont. Last tackle for Wigan. Threatening the St Helens line again. Richards. Tompkins. Slides the kick in. They're after this. Ooh, beat everybody. Oh, he knows they were very close.
It was a good option as well. It was a superbly timed kick from young Sam Tompkins. And O'Loughlin knew where it was going to go. He just could not get around the Saints player. Lovely pressure from this fella. He has settled in very quickly into this game.
Yes, he's playing like a veteran, isn't he, Sam Tompkins? He's only 21. Young player of the year, 4-2 at Warrington, by the way. And Sam Tompkins, 23 tries from just 36 appearances for Wigan. Terrific record. Flannery for St Helens, meanwhile. 70th St Helens appearance for Chris Flannery as he plays the ball to Cunningham. Here goes Wilkin.
Wonderful play by the forwards. Over the advantage line, every time they've played the ball, it needs a good kick and chase. Will it have height? Yes, it will. Oh, that's hanging.
It is. It's caught in the wind, that, and it's been picked up. Here goes Gidley. No, it's not Gidley. It's Christine with the bandage. The youngster wasn't playing until just before the match.
Boy, didn't he take it on the bounce straight in. Good job that Sam Tompkins, I think it was, that came back to get to him. What a try-saving tackle that was.
Goulding then will run it forward for Wigan. Trying each of his last 5 matches for Daryl Goulding for the Wigan Warriors. McAlorum. This is Paul Prescott now.
Hold it. Hold.
McAlorum again. And Eamon O'Carroll just on the field for Stuart Fielden. Plays the ball here to McAlorum. Now, Luluai drills the kick down the field. Finds the ground, but it skips away and runs dead. Nothing kick really from Thomas Luluai. They'll line up on the 30-metre line and defy St Helens to try and get through them.
We're both asking the questions, aren't they? Can you bring the ball away under pressure with the collision and the impact that goes on here at this level without dropping the ball? They're taking it forward here now, this time Scott Moore. This defensive line for both sides moving up really quickly. It's about pressure, isn't it, in these difficult conditions, holding on to possession.
Saints very much in the hunt again in 2010 to be top of the table for the 5th time in 6 years. Started slowly, but they really have got to the pace of Super League now. And there's Wilkin with a little kick that just drifts over the top. It's a great kick as well. Roberts in a bit of problem here to get away. He eventually hits the ground.
Tremendous stuff there. Now they've got to keep their composure. Don't give away a silly penalty. Otherwise it just diffuses all that good effort with a kick and chase. Amazing. Nearly 18 and a half minutes. We've yet to see a clean break. Not one clean break.
Bailey gets it away to Carmont. He cuts inside. Gets away from Pulatua. Can't get away from Flannery or James Graham. Tompkins waits and will give the pass to his captain today, Sean O'Loughlin, one of the 5 team leaders that Michael Maguire named the start of the season. He's wearing the captain's armband today. It's Luluai with the kick, straight to Price. Poor. Price got a smack in the face from Joel Tompkins.
And again, that silly play. You're just playing into the hands of the home side. He's such a tall man, and I'm surprised that Michael Maguire's tactics had to kick the ball high and into the arms of Leon Price. Look at the chase there. Absolutely fantastic. Bang, get them down. That was composure. And yet, the other way around, they've lost 30 metres forward of Wigan. But they've got to change their kicking tactics.
Andrew Dixon is on the field for St Helens as the ball is fed to Scott Moore by James Graham. Suddenly, you get the feeling St Helens have upped the ante a little in the last half minute or so. This is Eastman and Cunningham, Wilkin, That's Flannery.
They're playing that really flat pass coming on at pace on the second man, the second receiver. When are they going to start doing the inside pass that they're famous for, Saints?
Here's Leon Price joining the line, chiming in from full-back and almost being spun over the Wigan line by the Wigan defence then. That's the last one for St Helens, this set of 6. 2 metres away from the line. Cunningham finds Eastman. Eastman drifts the kick over. Sat up nicely, and Amos Roberts was taking no chances there. It's a beautiful kick from Eastman.
Pure silk. That's what you call this. That was good work by Amos Roberts. You don't take chances in wet conditions. Perfectly pointed, right, chipped over the top. Kyle Eastman really knows he has to come of age this year. He's a tremendous player, responsibility on his shoulders. And I mentioned before, I'm sure that Mick Potter will not take away the opportunity for him to still provide us with that explosive type of play.
Graham is stopped dead in his tracks from the goal line dropout. 40 metres away though from the Wigan line. Here goes Wilkin now. 7 out of 8 wins so far for Wigan. This though is the biggest hurdle that they've faced.
Quick play of the balls, they're just trying to tie it up. Wigan defence, there's the first run around. Oh, it's good work by Lolawai. He's offside.
Yes,
Cunningham is offside.
I think he knew it as well because it was an instinctive poke of the toe here.
Great work though, wasn't it, by Thomas Lolawai? Straight into the face. Nothing that Scott Moore could do it.
Sorry, Mike, I can't understand on that play why Leon Price wasn't looking to link up from the back end. He was stood almost close, standing with James Graham. And I think the idea that St Helens will want is to get as much value from him as possible in those attacking situations. There'll be nothing more frightening than seeing Leon Price running at you with the defenders 5 and 10 metres either side of you, knowing that he's coming at full pace. It would be a frightening prospect and what a difficult one to stop.
It was a big hit, that was, by John Wilkin. That's a forward pass. Forward pass to Lee Mossop from Thomas Lulawai.
Well, Lulawai is giving young Mossop a right mouthful. Well, in effect, he has enough experience himself, Thomas Lulawai, to know that, OK, the youngsters overrun him, so don't pass.
Mossop, the NRL clubs came a-calling, and he agreed a 5-year deal this week. Lee Mossop, he will be at Wigan for quite some time yet. This is Matt Gidley. Now then, the last time that Wigan won here was in September 2003, 28 points to 4. Brian Carney scored 2 tries that day, and he's on the sideline for us this afternoon. Brian, it's a rip-roaring start.
Yes, horrendous conditions down here, making it very difficult for the players to get messages across to each other. The rain and the wind straight into the St Helens players' faces, and like Phil says, it's going to be a game of territory here. Fortune favours the brave. Wigan willing to pass it more than one pass. That might be the key.
You mentioned the lady behind the scoreboard, Brian, on Boots and All on Wednesday. How's she been with you today?
I'm staying well away from that side.
Yeah, he's tucked out of the way in the players' tunnel is Brian Carney as he watches this, and he's watching St Helens with Eastman, and the kick wide looking for Gardner. Off the fingertips of Richards, and Carmon tidies up for the Wigan Warriors.
So alert, wasn't he, George Carmon? He's not 100%. Picked up a knock early in the game. Gardner goes right and high at top of Pat Richards. That's pretty difficult to do. Richards, such a tall person.
And hands in the ruck from John Wilkin. Penalty to Wigan, which is a relieving penalty.
Well, the players know. They've been warned time and time again that that is one thing that the referees will do, but I suppose in many ways, Wilkins said, well, I was only trying to just ease my way up. But if it looks as though your hand or your lower arm is anywhere in the vicinity of the football, referees can give the penalty. But boy, this is a tough encounter. They all have been, haven't we?
Yes, each and every one of the 3 games we've brought you so far and Sky Sports this Easter holiday have been wars of attrition. Bradford were very quick out of the blocks and then were pegged back. One more to come, of course, on Monday. Catalan Dragons and Leeds. Another penalty here for Wigan.
Well, it's got St Helens for offside. A lot of the fans underneath us here streaming to the fact that Wigan had a dummy runner. Was that any some sort of obstruction?
I think he's eventually done him here for a high tackle, mate. When the ball comes back, they switch it to Amos Roberts, is the man they intended for. But it's a great scenario here for Wigan now. 6 plays, 20 metres out.
Oh, and Emil Carroll. It's a lovely little run. Great step from the big prop forward. McIlaurin at dummy half. Brushes one away, finds Luluai. Luluai then gets it wide. Here is Joel Tompkins. Joel Tompkins on hands and knees almost, just makes a couple more metres forward. O'Loughlin. Back it comes to Luluai. Luluai to Tompkins. They've lined up here. Roberts to Carmont. Oh, they slid into him and brought him down.
Well, Carmont went over his own player. That's what put it down. He's injured.
More trouble to Carmont. Been carrying a knock, and he can hardly get to his feet. Does eventually. And the referee comes to his rescue.
That's wise by the official as well. He's in real trouble, is George Carmont. And he comes flying over the top of one of his own players. I can't think who it was, but either way, I don't think we'll see him for a while now.
So here is Lee Mossop. Oh, Lee Mossop offloaded that straight to the underarm of the St Helens defender, surely.
Nearly lost
Flannery
it.
thought he had it. Sam Tompkins with a kick to the corner. Nelly's underneath this. It's far back. Forward. Ball was knocked forward by the Wigan man. No try.
Golding thought he had it. It's a big call.
It's a great decision.
Yeah.
Great decision. Amos Roberts to Darryl Goulding, but it drifted forward.
Not much in it though. Great kick from Sam Tompkins. And there, better kick from Tompkins. On the other 2 occasions, this is the incident where Roberts knocks it back.
They're ready. The big key, I think, for St Helens will be Robbie with a white headband there, running correct in our back. He does it so well when he comes onto the field. Dangerous, makes meters, and so often creates so many platforms from St Helens to score.
Well, Carmont struggling in defence here, and surely St Helens will play to him. No, Eastman goes up the middle, tackled by Bailey. Last one here for St Helens. Now, Wilkin hoists the kick out wide. He's looking for Melly. Doesn't find him. He finds Amos Roberts instead, is it? No, it's Darryl Goulding.
Took it well under pressure there. Did well to keep in away from the whitewash. Boy, the pace of this. And that's good refereeing as well by Ben Taylor. He has to appreciate that it's very, very slippy out there. Big conditions.
Well, they're taking a huge risk with Carmont. He can hardly walk. He's still out there, though.
They're going to bring him off and bring Palliasino on, I think, Eddie. Oh, knock on from Wigan.
Yes, Eamon O'Carroll loses possession in the collision.
Palliasino enters the fray. He's in real trouble. Is George Carmont. He's going round the back of the post.
Play the ball, guys. Move, Cole. Let's see some movement.
Just lost it. Carroll could not hold on.
Carmont leaves the field, and Phil Bailey immediately switches to the centre. Such is the utility value of Phil Bailey. He might have a change of shirt needed for Scott Moore. This is the injury. He just went over the top of the players who were on the deck there. Might have been a similar injury to Kevin Sinfield. Oh, hang on. They got possession from the scrum again, and here goes O'Loughlin.
Well, what
Just
to
applies
believe?
the brakes, gives it then to Roberts. What a run. How on earth did that come about? We'll have a look at that later.
Good job that Francis Pelly was
Penalty
alert. Well, Wigan pushed in the scrum. Yeah, I know it's unusual, but that's what they did. Look at this. Push in the scrum, whipped it
And it was
back.
Palliasino. He sat on the bench for almost half an hour, Eddie. I've watched him warm up with such an intensity. When he came on the field, he wanted to make a difference.
Well, he sure did. He hooked that ball back.
Well, they got the penalty, and here they have the possession with Tompkins. They got the penalty for holding down after that break from the scrum. O'Loughlin, the man who made the break. At dummy half, he finds Luluai. Here's the big fella again, Palliasino. Pekka Palliasino has missed the last 3 games. Plays the ball to McIlaurin.
Oh, that's back to 6 if they can get to it.
Oh, it could be a try for Wigan.
Oh, this is amazing.
I think Darryl Goulding has scored here.
In the build-up.
And if he has, Darryl Goulding, it'll be a try now in each of his last 6 games. It came off somebody like a pinball.
To switch it to the blind side.
It's off Melly. Play on.
It was a poor pass.
Roby loses it.
Yeah, it was Dean. I think it was Dean, was it? It's hard to see, but it was the St. Helens player that lost it.
Well, there's three of them, Steve-O, with the white bandages on their head. That's why we're getting confused. There's one there, there's another one there.
The final one's Roby,
It
who
is
can't
Roby.
fall on the loose ball. Dean's the centre in the inside melee.
Golden
knock
picked
on
it up.
there.
That's a try. That is TRY time. It took a long time coming. And not surprisingly, it's come from an error.
Darryl Goulding, has he got his 8th try of the campaign? Yes, he has. We can go to a 6-point lead. It came off Francis Melly, it went backwards, it was play on. There was no knock on by Darryl Goulding. Roby couldn't take in the loose ball, and Goulding just waited and kept his composure and plunked it over the line. You can see what the conditions are like with the rain on the screen there.
Well, it's interesting. They got the possession from the scrum. Watch how Wigan wheel it. Oh, did he come early? Did Sean O'Loughlin get out of that pack before the ball had come clear of the scrum? It's supposed to. Either way, Melly got back there in time for Amos Roberts. It was a poor pass. It was a shocking pass. Roby couldn't handle it. Goulding says, I'll take the little gift. An Easter bunny present for Mr. Goulding.
Do you know, Mike, I'm going to guess that that pass was intended for the winger. He wanted to cut them all out because he knew that Goulding was free. It didn't get there before it hit traffic.
Does Richards add the extras? He does. And Wigan lead by 8 points to 0.
But one thing Wigan have that Saints don't have at present, as we see here in the scrum, look, it's a concerted push by 17 Palliasina. Comes back to Wigan, and I think on that there, it's fair enough.
Well, he's broken away well before the ball is cleared.
They've all broken away, Steve-O.
Well, I classify. Well, therefore, that should have been brought back by the official. Okay, I often criticise officials for being pedantic. I'm being pedantic. It didn't matter. It was the errors from St. Helens that has gifted Wigan that try.
Well, we know that George Carmon's off the field. Brian, what's the news?
Well, the doctor, Wigan has told us he's got a bang on the calf. He thinks he's touch and go, but George Carmont was giving the fingers up to say that yes, he'll be ready to come back on again at some stage in this game, which could be vital. An experienced player in the last 20 minutes.
Half an hour gone here. Wigan ahead by 8 points to 0. It's Tompkins who gives it then to Lee Mossop. And McIlorum waits and weighs up the options both ways. Goes to the right, finds Amos Roberts. He drifts it over the top. That's a decent enough kick, but was just a centimetre or two too long.
Well, if we please, okay, it went a little bit too strong, but Michael Maguire realising that he's not kicking the ball straight down the throat of Leon Price, which they did 3 or 4 times. Oh, that's a bad error.
Murray Fostervalou knocks on in his own half. On only the second tackle, I think.
Just took his eyes off it.
Problems for Mick Potter, the St. Helens coach, 2008 Coach of the Year at the Dragons in Catalan. He's had to blood a host of youngsters already this year.
Get quick in the tackle. Moving out, mate. Okay, here we go.
But with an 8-point lead, Wigan will not be in any rush whatsoever. They'll try to settle things down. There's been some good short kick game from this fella that's playing the ball, Sam Tompkins.
Stand up. Go.
Bit of pressure on Mick Potter because all the previous Super League coaches at St. Helens have won the title. Potter might feel he has to deliver in 2010. McIlorum, Lulawai, Roberts, Gleeson, Martin Gleeson, and a penalty.
Went high. Wilkin went high.
Come here.
Well, I think he's trying to say that he pushed his face towards my hand.
Listen to me. You have just caught him. Slap across
I don't
the face
think
of
so,
the hand.
Mr. Wilkin.
Get his tackles lower.
Yes, it's the technique at the minute that is costing St. Helens dearly. It was just a smack in the kisser with the open hand, fortunately.
Back on.
Penalty for Wigan.
And this is good tactics, you know, applying that pressure.
Eamon O'Carroll on the first tackle.
Look at the 2 lines of attack Wigan have here. 2 waves coming onto the ball, Eddie.
Lulawai, Tompkins straightens up, trying to get through the defence. That's terrific defence there from Roby. Wilkin, eventually they get him down. They almost cartwheel him to the floor.
If Tompkins is going to step, he needs someone coming on second phase on the inside.
Great hit by Gardner on Bailey, who plays it quickly though. O'Loughlin knocked down,
Back
six to go.
back to six.
Richards. Pat Richards taking them on, but Gidley was there, so too fast of a loop. McIlaurin waits again for Wigan. Intense pressure on this St Helens line. Lee Mossop with the latest drive in. And Fielden waiting to come back, and they get another penalty for hands in from Ben Thaler. But he's caning them at the moment.
Oh, they're going to go for the two, and now they're going for the tap. Well done with a big fella going!
Palliasina plucks it down! The referee will hand it upstairs though to Phil Bentham. Michael Maguire thinks they've scored.
Palliasina does, and so do I! That's try time.
Yes, it
Ball carrying arm has not hit the deck previous to the whitewash, and when it does, it is on it. Wonderful, wonderful upper body strength there from Palliasina. To drag the right shoulder, it's a huge risk.
Remember the playoffs at Hull KR last year? He did exactly the same as that. And Palliasina gives Wigan a 12-point lead with a kick to come.
Well, all the pressure certainly paid off. The penalties, 2 consecutive. And it allowed them, they took the tap on every occasion. Michael Maguire turning down the offer of the 2. It was so simple. So simple indeed. Just a little tap, bang, sheer power and weight. And boy, is Palliasina happy? You bet your life.
Tell you what was clearly evident was how popular he is, not just with the Wigan fans, but the Wigan team. Every one of them sprinted to get to him as quickly as possible and congratulate him. He's been dropped to the second team the last couple of weeks, but he's come back and he's shown here with his impact by pushing in that scrum and by scoring that try, just how valuable he can still be.
Richards adds the extras. 14-0 to Wigan. Well, they haven't won here in 9 visits. I don't think they've been in a position like this before in those 9 visits. A 14-0 advantage. Michael Maguire, first taste of the derby. Well, beat Saints and don't worry about the rest, he's been told. Maybe he's taken the advice to heart.
Oh, don't worry, Eddie. He knows that they're sitting on the top of the table and there's still plenty of time left in this game. They are playing against a superior side at home. St Helens really do know how to come back. Don't worry about it. He knows that. But I must say that St Helens have been their own worst enemy. Far too many errors, lack of discipline in the tackle.
It's O'Loughlin for the Wigan Warriors. 5 minutes to half-time and a 14-0 scoreline in Wigan's favour. Let's go down to Brian Carney.
Well, Eddie, just when Palliasina was touching that ball down, there was a funny scene on the sideline. Michael Maguire, the coach, had asked for 2 points, relayed the message to Chris Redlinski on the sideline, who had his hands aloft with 2 fingers, to Mike Forshaw in the middle of the pitch with 2 fingers, hands aloft. Palliasina scores the try. They're left calling for the 2. He's got them 4 points.
Yes, a good job that they've got the 4 points as well. Otherwise, there might have been a little bit of oh, and dear me, Lee Mossop is out cold. Oh, yeah, clash of heads, I think.
Yeah, it went in very awkward.
Dear.
It went in awkward. Boy, how tough is the head of A.D. Gardner?
How tough is the jaw of Lee Mossop if there's no damage? Oh. I mean, look at that.
He's up and he said, I know what I am, and he doesn't. Yeah, I'm fine. Bang. Oh, right on the jaw. And look, he's saying, well, I think I might be knocked out, but... Oh, boy, this is tough.
Courage.
They're saying, come to the sideline. Mossop saying, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I'll probably take up the next tackle.
Warrington 10-2 up against Salford. Here, 14-0 for Wigan.
There he is, Mossop, getting involved.
It's unbelievable. It is. I mean, you watch other sports, I'm not pointing the finger at any of them, and you see 100th of that, and they're calling for a stretcher. In this game, Lee Mossop just bounced off the ground, and as Stevo says, I'm fine, and then went in for the first tackle in the next set of 6.
It's just
unbelievable.
It's just like losing a contact on a battery, isn't it? You just say, put it back on. Just put it back on, I'm right.
St Helens looking to get something before half-time, but that's the last tackle for them. They're 40 metres away from their own line. Farsavalou, Eastman, he's trapped here. There's trouble here for St Helens. They can't get the ball away. They might now. Good kick as it turns out. Great kick as it turns out. And the chase is pretty good as well. But Roberts has it for Wigan.
But Mick Potter won't be happy with the fact that it took a real big effort to get that ball downfield when they should have been putting themselves in a good position. They're just lacking a bit of coordination as Saints. They're not talking to each other. Someone's got to get them out there and just say, hey, come on, do as I say. Resting the responsibility on the shoulders of Kyle Eastman and John Wilkin. They've got to start telling the other players, we want it this way and that way.
You know, Saints this year, remarkably and strangely, a bit camera shy. This is only our second visit. Last time we were here, they were 12-0 down to Hull at half-time in the fog. We could all just about see it, and they got a bit of a hiding that day.
You know, you talk about composure in these situations. The kicks let them down a little bit. But what Wigan did in possession there, they ran just from acting half-back, all of the outside backs. There was a conscious approach. We'll just get downfield here and we'll try and squeeze some more pressure on the opposition just before half-time.
That was Mossop and Gardner again going head-to-head. Here is Gidley.
Surrender!
Gidley plays the ball, it's Roby. Roby gets a great pass away and Wilkin was almost through. Knocked on, John Wilkin.
That was good work there by Palliasina. Palliasina went straight to the official and said, I think he lost that. And Ben Thaler nodded in agreement. John Wilkin, nothing is going right for the Saints at the moment. They've got to get themselves sorted out. It probably is going to come at the right moment for Mick Potter. He can't wait for the hooter to sound.
Well, they'll regroup, won't they, in the dressing room at half-time.
Was that a knock-on
by Lachlan?
yeah.
Well, the referee was absolutely in the right spot to make an instant decision on this one.
Well, he was nearly with it.
No, he wasn't.
No, he got it. He fumbled it, but got it before it hit the ground.
McIlorum waits for Wigan.
Composure, that's what's been the key for Wigan. They really have got their forwards working and they're in no rush. Okay.
That's good stuff from St Helens though on Palliasina this time.
But he knows they're controlling it. Michael Maguire knows that they've got this in the bag at the moment unless something rather foolish happens.
Well, he'll be desperate to get at his players. Ball goes to ground and they're lucky to get away with that. It's Joel Tompkins. He had a little glance at the referee then who was saying the ball went back, play on. Gleeson.
Well, he certainly fumbled, but he was facing his own stick, so that's fine.
This is the last tackle coming up for Wigan.
Get it over the whitewash.
It's a great kick too from Thomas Luluwai. Ooh! And Gardner took the gamble and Tompkins nearly pinched one. Well, St Helens will have another chance here at the end of this first half. Here's Gidley.
I think they might just be happy, Eddie, just to keep possession, prevent Wigan from scoring any more points, regroup at the break. But this is St Helens. Over the years, we've known them to not shut up shop. They're always adventurous. They're always looking for that moment. Can they do it now? We haven't seen much from Kyle Eastman in regards to doing something with the defence. He has not taken them on yet.
This is Wilkin. And that will be the last tackle of this first half. And a near perfect first half for the Wigan Warriors. Well, it's the very last league game between these two sides on this famous old ground. And Michael Maguire, it's advantage Wigan.